Our stylist winner. Congratulations. Well, there's a man who does not need a stylist. Keith McAfee is with the Cleveland Regional Jetport. Keith, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing all right, brother. I'm a day early, actually, not a day late for once
Well,
in my life.
no, it's just fine. But Keith, listen, so you have, of course, you are the director of the Cleveland Regional Jetport, and you have started this idea. You really want to bring the public to the Jetport. Is that right?
That is right. Yeah, the Jetport is an asset of the city, and it's really time to really start opening up that asset to the people of Cleveland and really Bradley County, and then really, because it's an airport, to the southeast United States. And so the idea is to allow people to come out, see what's going on at the airport, have some fun at the airport, and invite the southeast United States to come see what we've got here.
All right, so you're doing it in a great way, a great idea. First Friday, food truck fly-in. So talk about that. What does that mean?
Well, it's exactly what it says. You know, it's a rather long title for a rather really fun and short event. It's supposed to be the first Friday of every month except for July, because the 4th is on Friday and we don't want to mess with the 4th of July. It'll be that Thursday, July the 3rd. So that means it's the first Friday of every month. And it's food trucks. We'll have food trucks. We're going to have some music, and we'll also have some events there. We're going to have face painting, bouncy house. This is really going to be just a family event. And then it's also a fly-in. And a fly-in really in the aviation world is just like a car show. So people will be flying in from all over the place, and you'll get to see all kinds of airplanes. And the public who come in to partake of the food trucks and listen to the music will also get to go look at airplanes and talk to their pilots and just ask any questions they want about aviation. We're also willing to give tours of the terminal, and then at the same time, this really cool guy named Steve's going to be there talking on the radio with his amazing helper.
There we go. We're joined by Keith McAfee. It's the Cleveland Regional Jetport. Got some live music. Talk about that.
Yep. So Zach Dallas, a friend of mine, I've known him for a few years now. I think he went to Lee University, and he's a worship pastor in the local area, but he also has a band that does some really amazing music. And then the other group is coming in, and they're a local band also. So we're going to be trying to showcase some local talent these first couple of events. And, you know, as it begins to grow and expand, we'll just kind of see where we go from there. We might be able to get some other kind of music in.
I think it's a wonderful idea. We're joined by Keith McAfee, the Cleveland Regional Jetport. It's the all-new First Friday food truck fly-in, and it begins Friday night at 6 o'clock at the Cleveland Regional Jetport. So, let me, before we go, another question, let's talk about Operation Compassion, because there's going to be a tie-in here.
Yes, so there's two tie-ins, Operation Compassion and the Cleveland City Schools. Okay. So those are two pieces that are key there. Because we don't have adequate parking on the airport itself, Operation Compassion has agreed to allow us to do our event parking there, and the Cleveland City Schools will be supplying two school buses for us to ferry people back and forth. And we have a general schedule. Probably the buses will run every 10 minutes, and then as the event gets going, they'll probably expand out a little bit. But then as we begin to close out, things like that, the buses will run continuously until everybody can get back to their vehicles. Now, for anybody who needs it, we do have handicap disabled parking at the airport. So if you can't ride the bus, please come on up to the airport, and we will let you park at the airport.
And, you know, what I was going to say is we're joined by Keith McAfee, Cleveland Regional Jetport Director, and First Friday food truck fly-ins begin this Friday, 6 p.m. There's a fascination with airplanes. There's always a fascination with aircraft, and this ties into that.
It does. Well, you know, I remember as a young person myself, as really a teenager, I always had this fascination with airplanes, and I really wanted to be a pilot myself. And you know, we've talked about it before. I went in the Marine Corps and got out. And when I got out and went to Middle Tennessee State University, that's where I got involved in aviation. And you know, I believe it was Leonardo da Vinci that said that once you have experienced the sky, you will always be there. You will always look up. And he's absolutely right. Even when I retired, prior to taking this job, I never stopped looking up. I see an airplane, and my kids would make fun of me because every time I saw an airplane, whether it was a big jet or a small airplane, and I always seemed to know what the airplane was, that kind of thing, and I would just give them useless knowledge about the airplane. But it is. And as far as aviation goes, for anyone who's ever experienced it, and I want to be clear, not necessarily experienced it in a big airliner, but they've had the opportunity to really experience it in a small airplane. It's almost like touching the face of God. And if you listen, there's a famous poem called High Flight, and you should, and I encourage everyone to Google it and to look it up and read it. It's just an amazing poem about what aviation is about, and especially as a person of faith, it's really being up there and being in the sky, and then being able to open a window and put your hand out there and touch a cloud. It's just so amazing, and it's so freeing. And what's really sad is a large majority of the population feel that it's untouchable, that they can't be a pilot or they can't fly. Well, the truth is you can. Everybody can. There's probably people who probably shouldn't fly. I might be one of those, but it really is attainable, and what's really cool. Now, this is a really great piece. We literally just put out a request for proposal for a flight school. So off and on, we've had flight schools at the airport over the past 12 years since it's been in existence, and we just put out an RFP for a flight school. That RFP is now closed. My committee and I have been rating some flight schools that have applied for it. We feel like we've come across a good one, and I think we're going to have some opportunities here. And what most people don't realize is I think Tennessee has a really strong aviation background in the history of aviation in the United States. And it's just solid here. We've got the Beechcraft Museum. There's been a lot of aviation greats that have come from here also. So it's just taking that time and exploring what we can do. And I'm really proud of this airport. I'm proud of my staff. I'm proud of my team. The city, Joe Fivas and Sean McKay and the council have stepped up behind and said, hey, we really want this to shine. And they've made it possible to be able to do this kind of thing.
Well, I love the community outreach, and I love bringing people to the Jetport. If you've never been there, folks, you're going to love it. It is so first class. It's just excellence all over the place. Cleveland Regional Jetport, first Friday food truck fly-in. All right, Keith, one more time. Remind us of the details, buddy.
Okay, so it's going to start at 6. Buses will probably start running about 5:45, and there will be a $5 fee to get in. It's to pay for the wristband, help cover just charges and things like that. I will say this: if anybody's interested in getting their band before Friday, they can stop by the Jetport. We'll give you a little tour. We'll sell you your band, and that way you can kind of have those and just get on the bus and just unload. Other than that, bring money for food. There'll be several food trucks, and then all you got to do is bring a chair. That way you can listen to music and have a good time.
It's going to be a great night, and of course the airplanes that'll be out there.
Yes, and this is kid friendly too. Definitely kid friendly. There'll be face painting. There'll be bouncy house and things to do. Wow. We did have a question. I'd like to answer. Talk about this. Somebody asked if it's pet friendly. In general, I would say yes, it's pet friendly, but because it's around the airport, there's going to be a lot of noise and a lot of things like that. Chances of pets getting away, I'd prefer pets probably not be brought to this event.
Same thing about mother-in-laws. Also not mother-in-law friendly. Leave her at home. No, I'm kidding. That's a joke. Keith, great seeing you, buddy. Congratulations. I love what you're doing. Love that you're bringing the community there to the Jet.